Welcome back, everyone. I told you I was going to be doing another video tonight. But again, where do I start? First off, I'm pretty sure that you're all kind of in shock a little bit that my last video was actually under 20 minutes. What? Am I actually doing shit under 20 minutes now? I wouldn't get used to it. I honestly wouldn't. Because you know how your boy is. So what to talk about him? Well, we still need to beat YouTube's little algorithm. So, 2, 1, and we beat it! I love being able to cheat a system every once in a while. It's fun. So what to talk about in this video? Let's talk about everybody's correction. Let's talk about Democrats' #1 motherfucker, shall we? Oh, Biden. I told you I had a video for you, dude. So much like I touched on in the last video where I mentioned Biden, we're going to bring you up to speed a little bit on this. So in an interview, he mentioned how America doesn't need lower taxes, we need higher taxes. Why? Why do we need higher taxes? Oh, yeah, that's right, because according to Biden, Trump has his country so far into debt it's not even funny. According to Biden, we need higher taxes to be able to pay for education and all this other shit. If education meant anything nowadays, I'd have no problem helping the state, the country, pay for education. But education don't mean shit anymore. The education system in this country sucks dick. It has for quite some time, and especially with the way it's changed since I was in school, it's worse. It's a lot worse. But why is that? Because they don't want educated people. They don't want anybody to be intelligent. They don't want people to be able to form their own ideas and their own opinions. Are you beginning to see the vicious cycle? Let's take a look at how the year's gone. And you don't need me to talk about how the year's gone in order for you to see it. All you have to do is open your eyes and your mind, and you will see it. But according to Biden, we need higher taxes to pay for the educational system, for the medical fields, and all this, that, and the other thing. The last I heard, they weren't really hurting for money. I mean, they kind of are this year because of all the bullshit you Democrats have been pulling with this COVID shit. But regardless, haven't really heard of any major cuts this year. Whether it be in sports or art or music or whatever the case may be. The real reason you want to raise taxes, Biden, is because first off, you're pissed off at the fact that a president actually came in after you and Obama fucked up the country and did something that actually helped the people. He cut taxes. He took away Obamacare, something you and Obama worked so hard on, so that you could get more money out of people. And you go on record saying, oh, I'm going to bring it back with the mandatory punishments for those who don't have it. Much like I mentioned in my last video, you and Obama, your initial thing behind Obamacare was you wanted to create affordable health insurance for everybody. But you gave it a kind of a double-edged sword. if you didn't have it, you were penalized hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for not having it on your taxes, and therefore had to pay more taxes because of it. And if you did have it, you had to pay more money for having it. Hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So, where was that helping people? You know, a lot of people in this country rely on their income tax money, their tax returns, to be able to do things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do, to be able to get things for them or their families that they otherwise wouldn't be able to get. And you were taking that away from them. And you want to bring back Obamacare and all this mandatory shit that goes with it? You want to raise taxes another $400,000 just to fill your fucking pockets? Are you kidding me? And then you went on record calling the soldiers, the men and women who defend this country, idiots and bastards. These are the same men and women that allow you to feel safe in your bed at night. Biden. These are the same men and women who went into Afghanistan and Pakistan and wherever else you and Obama sent them on your orders to go after bin Laden. And you're going to call them idiots and bastards? My grandfather served in the Korean War. And you're going to sit there and call the men and women that defend this country, and not just present, we're talking past as well, we're talking everyone. Veterans and currently active military. You're calling them idiots and bastards? Really? And you're wanting the American people to trust you? Apparently there are a few dumbasses that trust you. Which, by the way, I hear you came to my state. And I live in Pennsylvania, by the way, Biden. I hear you came to my state and you had a whopping 8 people show up to your rally. Congratulations. You got 8 votes right there. Too bad you're still losing. And then we come to his vice president, this Camel Toe Harris, as so many people like to call her, wanting to issue a mandatory gun buyback. Let's touch on soft language for a quick second. We're going to put this thing with Harris on the back burner. We're going to touch on the soft language shit for a second. Something I believe I've touched on in one of my videos before, but I can't for the life of me, with all the videos that I've done and with everything that goes on in this playground of fuckery that I have in my head. Case in point. I often forget what I've touched on in some of my videos. Especially if it's been a while since I've done one. Soft language. Language designed to take the humanity out of the condition. Don't believe me? Okay. So, we're going to touch on the military side of things for a second. The original, this PTSD shit, post-traumatic stress deficit or disorder, or something along those lines. that's given to that soldiers are diagnosed with when they show signs of it, because of basically because of the mental and emotional toll that being in active duty took on them. You want to know what PTSD used to be called? It used to be called a very simple word, very straightforward word, called shell shock. But somehow we went from shell shock, a pretty direct line, um, to the disorder, to PTSD. And what I find interesting is PTSD is not limited to soldiers. Apparently, you can be your average everyday civilian and still get PTSD. What? Makes no sense to me. At some point, bathrooms became restrooms. At some point, the handicap became the differently abled or handy capable. Retards became special needs people. Um, and the list goes on and on. So now that we've touched a little bit on soft language, let's go back to the whole Camel Toe Harris thing. With her mandatory gun buyback, there's a difference in what you're wanting to do, Harris. You say mandatory gun buyback, and that sounds fine and all, right? Until you actually sit down and analyze what you really mean by it. You're not wanting to issue a gun buyback, you're issuing a gun confiscation act. Is what you're doing. And here's the hypocrisy in all of it, Harris. You're wanting to enforce this with the use of guns. What? Your theory is that all these children, the poor children, are being killed by guns. First off, guns don't kill people. People kill people. A gun is nothing more than a tool or an instrument. Much like a knife. You know, a knife, whether it's a steak knife, a butter knife, a pocket knife, a hunting knife, no matter what it may be. It's an instrument, it's a tool, it's a means to an end. The funny thing about tools and instruments, they can only do what the user or the operator needs them to do. So, if I need this nice little blade here to cut open a box, it cuts open a box for me. If I need it to cut some tape, it cuts some tape. If I need it to do something a little bit more bloodier, it does that. It does what I need it to do. Much like a gun does what you need it to do. And the sad fact of the matter is, there are a lot of gun enthusiasts out here. Some of them just buy guns, go to the shooting range with, practice with them. Some people buy them just to collect them. There are gun collectors out here too. Some people buy them as a way to put food on their table. Because there are some people out here who live so remotely that the only option they have to survive, aside from farming their own food, is shooting their own meat as well. They have to kill they have to kill and butcher animals in order to get their meats, whether it be deer, rabbit, fox, bear, coon, possum, whatever the case may be. Your problem is, and much like I mentioned with the police, there's a few bad apples in the bunch who actually buy guns with the intent to harm other people. Just because there's a few bad apples in the bunch, Harris, does not give you the right to call the entire bunch bad. Okay? And again, that's coming from somebody who's part of a group who was once unjustly put on the FBI's gang list because of a few bad apples in the bunch. Allow me to tell you what happens, Harris, should you try to take people's guns. It's not going to end well. Because you try to take a person's gun with the use of guns, somebody's going to be there one time and record it. Somebody is going to record your people shooting down somebody over their gun. Well, wait a second, they just committed gun violence to get a gun. Do you see the issue there, Harris? Nobody is going to willingly hand over their guns without a fight. And the first time your people brutalize or victimize anybody over it, that's your ass. But here's the other thing too, because should you try to actually take people's guns, you're gonna have an uprising on your hands, the likes of which this country has never seen. And I can tell you right now, Biden and Harris, they'll be going straight to the White House. It won't end well. It will not end well. Not for you. And while we're on the subject of Biden, Obama, I'm going to throw you in here real quick. Because I saw a video of you at a press conference not too long ago, where you stated, and I quote, "We left them a pandemic playbook that if they would have followed step by step, they would have stopped the pandemic before it reached our shores." You don't have to take my word for it. You can find it pretty much anywhere. Pretty sure if you looked on YouTube hard enough, you'd find it. But Obama, why would you and Biden feel the need to leave behind a pandemic playbook? Are you saying that you knew about this outbreak? This alleged outbreak? Are you saying you knew that it was going to happen? That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I highly doubt it. And much like I did in my last video, this is another straight up call out to the Illuminati. Because once again, X marks the spot. I want you to come for me. I want you to come and try to scare me. I want you to come to try and intimidate me. I don't call this on my face war paint for nothing. I'm ready to go to battle with you. Because we will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail. We, the conspiracy theorists, we, the truth seekers, the awakened, we will be your downfall. And as for the rest of you, I encourage you to wake the fuck